Francesco Bagnaia, the 2022 and 2023 season champion, returned to the MotoGP podium at the 2025 Dutch Grand Prix, finishing third in a hard-fought race at the iconic TT Circuit Assen. Yet despite the seemingly positive result, Bagnaia offered a refreshingly candid assessment of the Ducati GP25, admitting the bike remains difficult to master. Assen has historically been one of Bagnaia's stronger venues. His victory here in 2024 was clinical, marked by a dominant pace that saw him finish over 7 seconds ahead of the field. This year, however, the narrative was different. Though he led the opening laps with authority, persistent front-end grip issues and braking limitations ultimately compromised his rhythm and opened the door for Marco Bezzecchi and Pedro Acosta to pass him. Bagnaia would later reclaim third, but the effort left him reflective rather than celebratory. "I felt strong all weekend, but it's still the same," Bagnaia said post-race. "The grip and braking issues are still there, and they're really limiting me." What makes Bagnaia's comments particularly striking is the time delta he referenced, a loss of nearly 9 seconds compared to his 2024 performance on the GP24. In a sport where tenths of a second often separate glory from disappointment, such a gulf in performance, at a track where he historically excels, raises valid concerns about Ducati's development direction for 2025. The Italian rider pinpointed the GP25's instability under braking as the most significant divergence from its predecessor. "The challenge," he explained, "lies in stopping the bike precisely at the desired point, a crucial factor at a technically demanding circuit like Assen. I struggle to release the brake cleanly, and that sends me offline," Bagnaia noted. "Assen demands absolute control. Without it, you're always on the back foot. This issue has a compounding effect. If braking is compromised, entry speed suffers, which in turn impacts corner exit acceleration. For a rider whose style thrives on late braking and strong corner exits, the current setup of the GP25 appears to be in philosophical conflict with his instincts. Rather than continuing to push the GP25 toward his natural riding style, Bagnaia is now adopting a more pragmatic mindset, adapt himself to the machine, rather than forcing the machine to adapt to him. The bike's DNA isn't something you can change overnight," he admitted. "We've tried making adjustments, but too much change can be a trap. It's better now to learn how to ride it as it is." It's a mature strategy from the 2022 and 2023 champion, and one that suggests his playing the long game in what is becoming a highly volatile season. The Ducati GP25, while clearly fast in the right hands, as evidenced by Bezzecchi's performance, still appears to require very specific conditions or riding techniques to unlock its full potential. With Alex Marquez failing to finish the Dutch GP, Bagnaia gains crucial ground in the standings, moving closer to second place. However, the gap to championship leader Marc Marquez remains substantial. The Gresini rider's relentless consistency means Bagnaia has little room for error in the remaining rounds if he is to claw his way back into serious contention. There's an irony here: Bagnaia's methodical, calculated approach may be what earns him results, but the championship battle is demanding explosive, risk-laden performances, a stark contrast to his current, cautious adaptation phase with the GP25. Bagnaia's comments reveal the emotional and technical complexity of defending a title, or in this case, chasing a third crown, with machinery that doesn't yet feel like an extension of the rider. Ducati's 2025 project is not failing, but it's also not living up to the seamless evolution expected after the GP24. There's pace in the GP25, but it comes at a cost: increased rider effort, greater mental strain, and inconsistent racecraft. While Pedro Acosta dazzles as a rookie and Marc Marquez rediscovers his vintage form, Bagnaia's path forward feels less spectacular but no less critical. His decision to adapt, to outthink the machine rather than fight it, could lay the groundwork for a more potent second half of the season, provided Ducati can meet him halfway with improvements in braking stability and front-end feedback. For now, third place at Assen may not seem like a victory, but in the context of an evolving machine and a shifting grid hierarchy, it might be one of Bagnaia's most important podiums of the year. That said, Ducati will need to move swiftly if they are to provide Bagnaia with a platform worthy of sustained success. While Bezzecchi's podium at Assen shows that the GP25 has a high ceiling, its unpredictability across different riding styles is beginning to raise eyebrows within the paddock. It's no longer just about one bike, one team, or one setup, there's a broader conversation emerging about whether Ducati's 2025 evolution has favored one rider archetype at the expense of others. One also has to consider the psychological weight of adaptation. Bagnaia is not merely trying to go fast, he's reprogramming his instincts in real time, during a title campaign, against rivals who aren't slowing down. That level of cognitive load, paired with the physical demands of the GP25, risks draining performance over the course of a grueling season. Compounding matters is the current form of Marc Marquez. The Gresini rider is enjoying a renaissance that combines his trademark aggression with surprising mechanical sympathy aboard the Ducati. His consistency this year has put him in control of the standings, and with every round, he applies more pressure to those chasing him, including Bagnaia. Still, there's reason for Ducati to remain hopeful. The GP25 speed is not in question. The key lies in unlocking that performance more consistently and across more of their rider lineup. Bagnaia's decision to stop chasing ideal settings and instead focus on adaptation might, in hindsight, prove to be the blueprint for survival and ultimately, resurgence.